Polaris makes the most advanced UTVs on the market. This is the Polaris Pro R, and it has been fully upgraded by the brand Upfit. So this machine, it started as a bone stock, all black Polaris Pro R Ultimate. And what Upfit does is they take it and they make it look good and they make it work good. So from the looks of it, you can tell they fully wrapped the machine. It's got a gold base, silver linings, and then you have the base color underneath, which is just the Batman black, the Batmobile of the UTV world. In the front here, you have the similar upgrade as you do have on the Expedition, which is a front bumper and their two Upfit headlights. So these headlights are really great. It's a 3x3 light. The top three and the bottom three are forward-facing lights, and the middle line, or the middle layer of all these, is a wide lens. So all the plastics are kind of diamond-shaped or triangle-shaped. It allows, when the light hits it, it reflects it outwards, creating a wider beam of light. You have the Upfit bumper skid plate right here, and then you also can see there that you have the shock therapy suspension upgrades. That's really great. So you have box shocks, and they also make sure to always put a limiter strap on here, because they typically know that when you're upgrading your suspension, when you're getting a machine like this, you're willing to go for it. They spare no expense when it comes to upgrading the lights. So not only do you have the bumper lights, but you also have two more A-pillar lights here and an Assault Industries mirror. Assault Industries mirror is my personal favorite. They're very durable, and when you hit them, they actually are able to fold all the way in. So if you're to hit tree branches or anything else out on the track or on the course, or just when you're riding, you don't end up breaking the mirror, you just end up folding it in. You just gotta push it back out. The cage that they put on these is an Upfit cage, so it's fully upgraded and customized to fit exactly what they're trying to do with their machines. One thing that's really cool is, so they put a roof on top of their cage, and then they put an additional piece of paneling below the roof. And the reason that they do that is because they have all sorts of wiring and all sorts of stuff going on in between those two layers of metal. So in this case, they have a lot of wiring for, you have in-cab lights here. So you have a cab light here, a cab light there, and a cab light above the two passengers in the back. You also have PCI racer air. So this is for the helmets. It plugs into the side of your helmet right here. Allows you to have fresh air while you're driving all the time. And all the components and everything that's being run through this whole roof situation is running in between those two panels. So running into the back here, let's talk about what we can really see and have a good look at. So same thing, you have your Fox shocks tuned and done by Shock Therapy. And then you have one of my favorite upgrades on this machine, which is the Tensor tire upgrade. So I personally upgraded the 33-inch tires, but Upfit says let's take it one step further, and they take you straight to the 35-inch tires. The Tensor has always made a really great tire in my opinion. I've raced it for many, many years. I've won world championships on the Tensor tire, so I can personally vouch for it being an incredible piece of rubber. It's sitting on the 15-inch chromies from Method race wheels. I think that's the best look. You know, chromie kind of went out for a little while, and now it's back, and I kind of love it. So the chromies are a personal favorite of mine. You have the radius rods from Shock Therapy, and you have the Upfit rear plate for the radius rods. This is just kind of a nice upgrade. It kind of gets them up and out of the way a little bit more, and kind of on top of it all, they're a little bit stronger. So, you know, if I could tell you the three most common things that you'll break on one of these machines, it'll be your belt, your tie rod, and your axles. And if I could say four things, it would be your radius rods. And that's just because they are so exposed. You know, regardless of how strong these things get, if you hit something going 80 miles an hour, hate to break it to you, it's just gonna break. Back here you have your rear box. This is like super easy to use. So you just push this button in, push that button in. You know, I just did it with one finger, and the whole thing lifts up. So it's really, really nice design, makes it easy to store all of your stuff. And then you just hit that button, and it's back to being locked. You can set a tire right here on top, strap it down if you need the spare. And then let's come over here and let's jump into the cab of the machine. Now, before I tell you everything that they've changed in the cab, let me tell you just a few things that they've kept stock. So in front of the driver, you have your odometer, tachometer, and speedometer, and your 4-inch LCD screen. You have your drive modes, so you have your stock lights. It's a little stock light switch. You have your 3 modes of turf mode, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and 4-wheel drive lock mode. And then you also have your throttle modes. So this is your throttle response. So you have your sport, your race, and your rock. You know, obviously I like to go race unless I'm in Moab, then the rock is actually really nice. It allows it to where when you smash the gas, you know, you don't launch. It's a very forgiving throttle. The other thing they've left stock here is the ride command, the cup holder, and the steering wheel. And other than that, everything else has been upgraded and changed. You can see that they've custom fabbed an entire upper dash here. It allows it to have a raised feeling when you're racing and actually racing out there. One thing that people don't realize is you get hit with rocks because you're chasing people and you're getting roosted, and so your knuckles get hit with rocks, and this kind of eliminates that issue, having a high dash. So if you're really short, this isn't going to be for you, but if you're just normal or tall, this is going to be really, really great, and it's just a more comfortable ride. Along with, if it's cold, your hands are protected from the elements and you're not, you know, your hands aren't freezing. So you have this whole custom metal on this side. What the metal is doing is it's protecting the GPS. So this is a really sweet GPS design. It allows you to input race courses, other rides from the internet, anything that you can't put on your ride command or you don't want to put in your ride command, you can put on the GPS right here. And then you can have the driver and co-rider experience when you're racing or ripping down in Mexico. You know, one thing that I use these things for religiously is pre-running. So they've also upgraded the gear shifter and the gear shifter plate. The custom dash mounting here at the bottom, this is your push to talk. So you have a PCI plug-in here for your helmet or your headset. Obviously this thing's built for helmets, that's why you have the Racer Air, but this thing is built for your comms. So you have in-car comms, and then the red button is how you go outbound. So if you have your radio on, which you have a PCI radio here with the custom PCI in-car controller. This in-car controller is really great. It allows you to change the volumes of everything. It also allows you to connect your phone and play music through your helmet, and then this is the volume knob for that. And the other cool thing about this is the way the volume works is it's playing, and then when you speak, the volume goes down. So it doesn't actually interfere with the driver and co-driver communication experience. So all that has been upgraded in front of the drivers, and then below and behind the drivers you have an upgraded seat. So they take the stock Polaris seat and then they just kind of take it to the next level. They cover it in a plush diamond stitched coating, along with it adds some cushion. You still have your built-in heating and AC seats in this machine, so that's really, really nice. And then everything else is just more comfortable. You know, they didn't put in new seats, they really just upgraded what was already here. And if you've sat in any of the 2025 seats, you already know that they're a massive step in the right direction when it comes to getting comfier. They also took away the crossbody, you know, normal car seat belts. Those aren't really safe, although they are legally safe. You know, if you're really gonna go for a rip and a ride, I would recommend getting a 5-point or at least a 4-point. This is a really simple system. It works just like a car buckle, you know, so you don't have to do anything fancy, but at least you're being held in with your shoulders and with your waist. They also did a good job with these things. They're very plush, so they're not gonna get like some kind of weird rash on your neck like you do with some of the cheaper models. Like I said, when it comes to these Upfit machines, they really don't skip on any of the stuff that you don't want them to skip on. Creature comfort is there. The stuff that Polaris just did really, really well, they left. You know, the steering wheel is a great steering wheel. You have your suspension changes here with the up and down arrows. You have your lockout button here, which is if you're about to hit a G out or you jump the car. If you're about to hit a G out, you can hit it and it basically absorbs it as opposed to compressing and rebounding out of it. It's kind of like the oh shiz button if you like really want to get into it. And then it also works if you go airborne. You can hit the button and when you land, you won't bottom out. The car is supposed to have something in it that allows it to recognize when it's airborne to lock them out for you, but it doesn't always work, and it's just better safe than sorry. You also have your volume controls and your Polaris controls, so you can turn the volume up and down, pause and play your music. Along with, you can go to your Polaris menu. It'll pull up the Polaris menu right here and allows you to sort through a couple things kind of on the go. Makes it easy if you have gloves on. The ride command is glove friendly, but you know, it doesn't work every time, so that button's just nice to get kind of your settings pulled up. You have your oh shiz handle here for the co-driver, and then this thing, finally, this thing comes with the Rockford Fosgate Stage 4 sound system. So you have your 2 A-pillar speakers, you have your 2 speakers that face the driver and the co-driver, and then you have 2 speakers facing forward for the rear passengers, creating kind of a surround sound system, which is quite impressive for a UTV. Now, this is one of the greatest looking UTVs that we've ever seen come through the shop, and we're excited to have it here. We're actually honored that Upfit selected us to be able to carry their products. Everything here, Upfit does sell privately, so if you guys are like, oh, I don't want to buy the whole machine, but I like the lights, or I like the mirror, or I like the dash, or I like the cover, or I like the shifter, you can actually go and get those or reach out to us. We can help you get them. But if you guys really want the coolest looking machine that you could possibly buy, possibly in the state of Utah, then this machine is probably the one you're gonna wanna get your hands on. I wish that I had this machine. I go down to Mexico all the time, and just all the fit and finishes of this are just so user friendly. You know, it's not one of those machines that's like, oh, it's pretty but it doesn't work that well. It's a machine that you're like, okay, I could actually see myself using almost every single thing that they put into this. Whoever designed this and whoever built these, I would bet have spent a lot of time in a UTV, because they took all the things that they didn't like and they made them likable. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming and visiting us here at Prime Power Sports. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check us out on Instagram, PrimePSUtah, and check us out online at primepsutah.com.